Hello everyone. Today is going to be Jack's 2-month update. He's a little older than 2 months now. I kind of wasn't going to do these monthly, but I think I will just because I would like it for myself. Yes, hello Tucker. So Tucker got clipped. I don't know if you can tell. He looks like a completely different dog. And Jack is here with me, and he's a little cranky. As soon as I start rocking, he usually starts to get, what, Tucker? He starts to get cranky. He needs to be moving at all times. So we'll try it. We'll try to get this started. We'll see how it goes. And he's always looking up, by the way. I don't know why. He loves looking up. But let's get started. Sorry if I'm rocking. It's just by instinct. I just do it automatically. And it can be distracting, and I'm going to try not to do it, but we'll see. So first of all, he talks a lot more now. Talks. If you like talk to him, he'll talk back with like oohs and ahs or whatever, and it's so cute. It's adorable. Yeah. What's all that about? What? Yeah? He will not take a pacifier at all. And when he was born, like, I didn't want to give him a pacifier. I remember the first photo shoot I went to with him. She said bring a pacifier in case he needs it. And I was kind of like, well, he doesn't have a pacifier and I don't really want to give him a pacifier. But now he won't take it at all, and it's not that I want to give it to him, but he loves to suck. And oh, look at that pout. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? I think he's getting tired right now, actually. It's not that I want to give him a pacifier, but he loves to suck, and he's sucking on his hands a lot and his arms. And even when I try to give him a pacifier, then he still will not take it. He kind of like, he goes like, and then he like spits it out, and he'll even like urge. Speaking of, every once in a while he'll like urge or like gag, I guess. He doesn't really throw up, he just kind of gags, and it's, I don't know why. And I noticed he drools a lot more. We actually thought he might have been teething, because he was cranky for a while. I'll talk about that in a bit, and he's been drooling a lot, but at his appointment she checked and she said he wasn't. Like right now he's chewing on his hands. I'll try it again. What was I saying? So he does spit up every once in a while, but not very often at all. He does like blowing bubbles though. He loves his activity gym or play mat, whatever you want to call it. That like little tent thing that I got him. He loves it. I didn't even open it until he was about a month old because I didn't really think he would use it. But he'll lie on that mat and look up at the little dangly things for like an hour, hour and a half, and just smiling and laughing at it. He loves it. He loves his swing too. Not so much anymore, but for a while there he would even fall asleep in his swing. It was awesome because I can actually get things done. And even now, like, I can put him down and he's content for a little bit, and I can get some stuff done. Now it's kind of like you're on a time limit and you're like rushing around trying to get as much done as you can while he's satisfied. And then as soon as he starts crying, I'll usually pick him up, and then he stops like automatically. We do tummy time. We try once a day. Doesn't always happen, and he doesn't mind it at all. He's always moving his arms and legs all the time. Kicking his legs and moving his arms, and he has to be moving all the time. He also loves music. Whenever he's down, I usually turn on the music on his swing. It's just some, I don't know, weird lullabies, and it's like burned in my head. Like I can probably sing it in my sleep because it's on repeat all the time, and he's so content with music. And even nighttime we sleep with white noise. For the most part, he's pretty happy, but he still has his days where he's cranky and likes to be up. Not very often, but it does happen. He started grabbing my hair and my shirt all the time. If he's facing me, he has my hair. If I'm feeding him, he has my shirt. He does have a little bit of mucus, not very much, but I notice it mostly nighttime. And if he has a lot, I'll suck it out with that snot sucker thing. Byron thinks it's disgusting, but it works. He never cries. The only time he cries is if he's hungry and he wants boob. He doesn't even really cry to get his pamper changed. Or if he's down, like if I have him down on his playmat, he'll start crying, but as soon as you pick him up, he's usually pretty good. With that being said, there was a period, and even now sometimes, he would get cranky every day between 8 and 10. And it was like every day. And you couldn't sit down with him. You'd have to like bounce him and walk around with him. And he would just look around and he'd be fine, but as soon as you sat down, he would cry again. We thought he might have been teething, like I just said, because he was drooling a lot and always wanted to be sucking or chewing. But I don't think that's it at all. Now I'm kind of thinking maybe it was a hint that or a sign that he wanted to go to bed, if that makes sense. Because lately, or the last couple nights, I've been putting him to bed around 7:30, 8:30, whenever he starts getting a little bit cranky and tired. I'll put him to bed and he's perfect. He goes right to sleep. Acne, he did have acne the first month, but it all cleared up. He will get a random spot every once in a while, but usually pretty good. And I didn't even really put anything on it. It just cleared up on its own. We do go for walks, and he still don't mind his car seat. He gets a little bit fussy buckling it up, but once he's in it and we're in the car moving, he falls right asleep, or he'll just sit there and look around. He's pretty content in the car seat. We are still breastfeeding and still going strong. I love breastfeeding. It's so easy and so convenient. I cannot imagine bottle feeding. For the people who, oh bless you, for the people who just choose formula, I'm like, I don't know what's the word I'm thinking of, but props to you, because bless you. Because I feel like that would be a lot more work. I can't imagine having to get up every time he wants a bottle, every time he's hungry, to get a bottle and heat it up and mixing it. It's so nice that if you're out somewhere and your baby starts getting cranky, all you have to do is whip the boob out and they're content. Like, he'll never turn on the boob ever. He eats about every 3 to 4 hours during the day, and night times he'll wake twice. We are still co-sleeping, and I love co-sleeping. Again, it's so convenient because he doesn't even really cry. He just stirs, and I'm like, whoop, whip the boob out and put it in his mouth, and he's good to go. And he falls right back to sleep. My husband sleeps in another room, and we have the bed to ourselves. First, he started sleeping in another room because he works shift work and he really needs sleep because he's gone from the house for like 15 hours a day, I believe it is. So sleep is very important for him, and he wasn't getting sleep when he was in bed with us because he would wake him. So he started sleeping in the other room for work, and he kind of just sleeps there when he's not working out too, which it's okay for now. I don't mind because I get the whole bed with him to myself. I did give him gas drops the first couple weeks when he was born because he had a nice bit of gas. I do not give him gas drops anymore. I did give him like maybe 4 total since he was born. I tried everything. I tried bicycles, I tried massaging him, I tried everything. I tried like putting him down and picking him up in different positions, and nothing worked. And I think it was all to do with the antibiotics I was taking for my UTI. Because now, after I finished those antibiotics, he's been fine ever since. And I felt really bad for giving him the gas drops. But he was having a really hard time with it. He did have his 2-month vaccinations. And I don't even really want to talk about it because I was devastated. So me and my husband both hate vaccinations. We did not want to give it to him at all, but we did do our research and we looked into it and we decided to give it to him. It's hard because if we never vaccinated him and he ended up with polio or something like that, we would have never forgiven ourselves. But if we given him the vaccinations and something happened, like a severe allergic reaction, we would have never forgiven ourselves. So it was really hard, and I had his appointment booked and I ended up canceling it because I was just so scared, and I really didn't want to give it to him because he's so small and so like pure and untouched, and you know what I mean. It was hard, but I ended up booking it again for the week later because I knew I wanted to give it to him. I just was afraid. So that day, his appointment was at 2. That whole day I was sick to my stomach. I wanted to throw up. I was dreading it so bad. And we went there and she asked who was going to hold him. And I asked her if I could breastfeed him because I read that that's a really good way to do it, and it kind of, I guess, distracts them and it's not so bad. So I put him on my boob and she gave him the first needle, and she told me to hold his leg at the bottom of his leg around his foot. And as soon as she pricked him, he pulled his leg right up and he unlatched, and he was looking in my eyes and he just started to cry, which made me cry, and I bawled my eyes out. It was so hard for me to like not sob. It was horrible. I wanted to take him and leave and never go back, but he still had one more needle to get. So he cried for a little bit and I kind of bounced him and soothed him. And then I latched him on the other side and she gave him the second needle. And again, he was looking in my eyes, and as soon as she pricked him, he unlatched and broke down crying. And then again, I fell apart. I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried, and all day I was devastated. Every time I thought about it, I would cry. My mom called and I bawled on the phone because I felt so bad. But it was something that we wanted to do. We did, but we didn't. And I know vaccinations is such a touchy subject and everyone has their own opinions, but that's what we decided to do. The first needle is for like polio and tetanus and a whole bunch of, it's like a combo shot. The second one, I believe, was for 10 strands of pneumonia, I believe. And there was a oral one too for like severe diarrhea or something, but we didn't give him that one. So we only gave him 2 vaccinations, not the oral one. We didn't think that one was necessary, I guess. So yeah, it was horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I cried the rest of the day. And just thinking about his next shots, which is at 4 months, makes me sick to my stomach. It makes me want to cry. Anyways, so he got my hair. So we did get him weighed and all that fun stuff. Where is it? So he was pretty much 2 months, I believe. So he's now 12 pounds 3 ounces, and when he was born he was 7 pounds 1 ounce. So that's what, 4 pounds. And I don't know if where you're from, if they do percentiles, but here they do. I believe they take like 100 random babies the same sex and the same age, and they compare it. So for his weight, when he was born, he was in the 38th percentile, and now he is still 38th percentile, which 50% is average, is kind of like, I guess, the middle, and like a 90th percentile baby would be a big baby. So he's kind of on the smaller end, which honestly, I thought he was going to be on the upper end of the scale. Not that I think he's like huge, but I thought he was kind of a bigger baby, but apparently not. As for height, he was 20 and a half, I believe, at birth, and now he's 22 and a half. And at birth he was 73 percentile, so he was a bit taller, and they told me that when he was born, that he was a long baby. And now he's in 24 percentile, so I don't know how that works, but now he's on the lower end of that scale. So he's a smaller baby, apparently. Can you please let go of my hair? The joys of having a baby. 90% of the time my hair is in a ponytail for this reason. And he is he's in 3-month clothing. Most of it like 3-month, and then some 0 to 3. But I did have this Winnie the Pooh newborn onesie that I bought for him, and I tried it on him, I believe it was yesterday, and it still fits him, newborn. I was going to include my postpartum stuff in this video, but it's too much and this video would have been way too long. So I think I'm going to do a separate video about that, because that's a whole another story. Say hello! Hi! Hi! Oh, you sweetheart. You sweetheart. Yes, you are. Aww, I love you. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little update from little man and how big he's getting. Just look at those cheeks. Just look at those cheeks. You just love smiling, don't you? Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month. And I'll be a whole lot bigger. A whole lot bigger.